Hello everyone and welcome back to today's production of the Crucible. I am your host Lumi today. Let us start a little bit by going over what we did yesterday. We had 4 games, being a couple teams that I don't know off the top of my head. But to kind of just recap some of the stuff that we're mainly looking at. Oh, hello casters. Quickly, this is Chaka and T-Van, sorry. They are going to be joining me as we walk you through today's games. But let's talk a little bit about yesterday, right? So first of all, Bands Coast is confirmed for the playoffs. They won all 3 of their games yesterday, and they won very quickly, right? They were like 7-3, sorry, 7-3 and 7-0. So they definitely won their games in a landslide. Alternatively, on the flip side of that coin though, 1HP is struggling with this season. 2 of their players actually left yesterday, and today we will be seeing them play with their new IGL. Little less experienced, but we have high hopes for him. Outlast also had some roster changes as they had a show against Core last night, so we think they're back in shape, so we'll definitely be looking out for them today. And Core is struggling to close things out in regulation. They are going to overtime in every map. I used to think that it was Goose, the caster, that was indicating whether or not we went into overtime, but it looks like it's actually the team. So we'll have to see if that pattern tracks tonight. And they just picked up a new player, Rios. I might have said that wrong, actually. I don't know. Anyway. Okay, let's take a look at today's game, though. We are going to be starting up with Friendship versus 1HP. So, Friendship team, Chaka, just picked up a new player with Ash, their sub, actually, because... Right? Looking at... Yes, they lost Wi-Fi. Yeah. So, I'm so sorry, I said Chaka, but T-Van, can you actually take us through Friendship team a little bit? I think...
Yeah, so we just had T-Van just disconnect for a little bit, but I'll talk about Friendship Team just to kind of just continue things a little bit. So for Friendship Team, we have a lot of high expectations for them because they are the former XLG roster. They played in Pro League. You have Pro League ready players on this team. But as of recently, after the Element 4 Grand Finals, Wi-Fi left the team due to personal reasons. And so Ash has now stepped in ahead of him on that support role, which for me, Wi-Fi isn't like a very vocal player. So he doesn't really impact team communication a lot. But like when you're replacing one of the better hard supports that we have in NA with somebody who's relatively inexperienced at the T2 level, that's surely going to create some issues for Friendship Team. And they experienced those issues yesterday when they played against Bands Coast.
Yeah, I think that's all some very good information. We'll definitely have to take a look out for them. To kind of continue talking about Friendship Team, we do actually have a clip of an interview with their analyst, being Froshi, and we're going to take a look at that real quick.
We're obviously super disappointed that we weren't able to win out against SSGA. You know, for us now, it's just about rebuilding and just having fun with this event. No, working with these boys has been awesome. They picked me up sort of like mid-August before Stage 2. Immediately, they trusted me a lot. It's been a huge blessing, and yeah, it's awesome working with them. And we just want to win, you know. So we just hope we can do that. Well, I started playing Siege on release on Xbox. I got it. Siege came out my 11th birthday. My birthday's December 1st. Siege came out my 11th birthday, and I started playing it then. Didn't play the beta, but yeah, I've been playing since as long as I can remember. The first competitive team, at least as a staffer, I won't do as a player, at least as a staffer, back in 2020, I was on a team called 1HP Esports. We had like Red Dog and Coffee and Mr. B and Proco. And yeah, that was my first team as a coach. Didn't last on a team long.
All right. That was our clip from Froshi again. He is their analyst of Friendship Team, and it's always nice to see players who have been in the scene for so long. I know me personally, I only started playing in OSA season, so I'm still considered new-ish to the game, and there are even newer players out there. But to have someone who's been playing it for so long, it has been really nice to see him. To kind of take things on the other side though, Tavon, double check, you are here, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm here, I'm living, we're alive, we're happy. We're having a great time over here.
Awesome. We had some tech issues earlier, so just wanted to double check that we are figuring with that out. But T-Ven, 1HP, right? They are struggling. They desperately need a win. If they can win tonight, they still can make the play-ins. But why don't you tell us a bit more about them?
Yeah, I mean, like we've already kind of touched on, this is going to be a David and Goliath story. In my opinion, Friendship Team is one of the favorites in the whole tournament. And so if you're a roster that almost half of your players just straight up left the night before, you picked up some 2 random people off of an LFG post on Twitter, and now we're just rebuilding completely, it's going to be quite the uphill battle, especially with your back already against the wall being down 0-3. And those 0-3s are pretty rough, especially when one of them is also a goose egg. If we would like to trench into our memory of Coast, it was quite the adventure that we got to watch here on Consulate again.
Come on.
I mean, we didn't have to do it that dirty, but you're curious of why these players left. I ask myself that every night of why would I have left this roster if that happened to me. You know, it was a close loss. You know, every round was just a nail biter. So, as much as I'm really excited to see these 2 new players, to see how this new dynamic is, I also am very worried because they're facing a pretty much tier 1 team.
Yeah, it can be very nerve-wracking when you have this kind of track record and you're going up a better team. Chaka, are we back? I was a little worried we lost you two for a second.
No. No, okay, look. Yeah,
sorry?
I was just, that caught me off guard, I'm sorry. It was just the red
banger.
troll face and the shaking anger, like, come on now.
All right. Well, those are going to be our 2 teams for tonight. So now we know a bit about the teams. T-Van, let's take a look at these map bans. Tell us what you're seeing.
Yeah, I mean, pretty basic so far from 1HP. Just kind of knock the other team off of the, what I call, like, strat maps of, you know, chalet, labs, even cafe, where, you know, if you have an IGL, these maps are playhouses for you. And if you don't have an IGL, then the map is terrible. Also, they're taking away the traumatic map, lastly, of Consulate. no longer refreshing those memories. And going to a map like a Clubhouse, which I think, if you're a brand new roster, this is kind of that comfort map that everyone knows. Everyone has strategies and defaults on Clubhouse, so I feel like this is going to give them the highest fighting chance against a roster like Friendship Team.
Yeah, I think definitely playing on one of these more familiar maps, especially when you're on a team that's kind of lacking a little bit of synergy with those 2 new players, Club is going to be pretty good for them. Chaka, do you have any last thoughts before we go into our game?
The only thing that I can think of for the reason as to why 1HP picked this map is because Friendship Team literally played it yesterday and they lost it, like, really badly, especially once they went over to defense. So maybe because of what I've been told by 1HP, they do like to do their homework on teams. They like to VOD review. The issue is that they have trouble implementing that prep work into their gameplay and actually communicating stress that they've worked out way beforehand on into the game that they're playing the very next day. They had that issue against JJ Co, Bands Coast, and the other team that they played against here in the Crucible. So hopefully, now that they brought in newer people just for better mentals, they can actually implement the prep work that they worked so hard on over the past few days.
For sure, and I think definitely with that new IGL, we will get to see how he does tonight, and we will be jumping right into the game. So good luck to both of these teams, and good luck on the cast.
Thank you. Yeah. Oh boy, Chaka. Yeah, quite the game we have on our hands here. That clip is still kind of playing in my mind over and over. I'm not gonna lie. But hey, hopefully not gonna be a 7-0 going into the Clubhouse. And You know, Chaka, I was thinking about that previous game that you were talking about, a friendship team on Clubhouse against Bands Coast. And yeah, that 7-3 is kind of that anomaly that's playing in my head, and I'm really curious of what they potentially learned from that map and if it's going to show against 1HP.
Yeah, mainly their issues started to arise on the defense. I didn't really get a good look at that game, if I'm being completely honest, just because schoolwork, and then also I just had papers due, so I couldn't really analyze the game in a deeper way. I did see a lot of the times though when friendship team were on their attacks that they did try and go for direct takes, so that's something that 1HP have to be wary of. And again, if they do the prep work like they said that they do, and they've also got like a new IGL and another new player just for better mentals, then 1HP should have no issues in implementing any safeguards when it comes to direct takes. As Vanderface concludes, the one thing that stands out to me is that 1HP do ban out the Maverick. I think that's more map specific than anything else, because 1HP in previous games have opted to ban the Deimos most of the time when it comes to their attacker ban.
Well, speaking of direct, the L chat has already been quite direct at each other. One player saying, "Can y'all SDFU immediately?" As they were
Yikes.
putting up the odds of the over-under of 2 rounds for 1HP. Me personally, Chaka, I'm taking the over on that. I believe in the lads of 1HP to at least take more than 2 rounds, but, you know, we'll just have to see. If it was a 1.5 round, I would every day of the week take 1.5, like, over. Because I think 2 rounds is the sweet spot for 1HP. But, you know, we're going to be saying the basement. As per usual, you know, this is pretty, it's death taxes in Clubhouse basement so far. But, I mean, the Aruni pick is something that is interesting me, paired with the Kaid and the Tubarão, kind of locking down those hatches quite heavily.
Yeah, that's a strategy that you mostly see on Bank Basement, for example, using not only the Tubarão canisters or the Kaid claws. Sometimes Kaid is maybe not even a factor for Basement Bank defenses, and they bring in the Goya to waste a lot more time. And already, I mean, friendship teams start this off really well. They get the Grim. That's really good for when you want to push down Blue, for example, or even just force a push down Dirt and snipe out positions such as the behind AKs or next to dummies.
Oh god,
What
no,
is going
Silent,
on?
please don't tell me we're getting a second. I mean, we're already putting up the narrative like, oh, come on, 1HP, surely you get 2 rounds, but already Gold is taken out of the game. Regrets with the sledge is already at 1 HP to make his name known. Pretty brutal start here, Chaka, and yeah, like you said, that's going to be taking out a lot of that early aggression. It's going to be up to gunpowder and drone power. It does seem like they are finding Silent on this extension. Silent doesn't have a lot of support from the first floor. I mean, they can always roam up, but oh my god!
Excuse me?
Yeah, Kix is just that guy, I guess. Kixro is just going to land the shot from Narnia, take out that second floor player of Slash, and now it's just up to Regrets to be a potential entry fragger, and maybe just throw his body at them, and maybe 1HP will get 1 kill this round.
I mean, they set up the vertical, but they didn't really send any more utility towards that main stairs player. They've already lost the Ash, so there's no way of dealing with the mirror windows. All you have is just like Thatcher and Habana, so hopefully you can get some of these hatches open, but you have to bypass the effects of the Aruni gates if they are placed in the hatches. I mean, 1HP, they lose the opening 2 picks, and time is just like so low, and they have minimal utility to work with at this point.
Yeah, I mean, hey, they got Thatcher EMPs to throw at them to distract them, pretend like it's a flashbang, like a CSGO Deagle thrown at them, but they do still have to fight the church wall, which is going to have a C4 behind it. I mean, this is a pretty default wall. Kaid Claw is going to be disabled, but they don't have any breaches to play off of it. They have Hibana pellets, but with the full control of long and short, it's going to be a little bit difficult to really play off of that. The kitchen hatch, though, opening up. Maybe a shot for Regrets to be able to get, but remember, this guy's 1 HP. If a single toe receives a bullet, he's going to be knocked to his knees. Could be a strat, though, to heal him up. But 35 seconds remaining. More pellets are shot out, but instead, it's actually the DMR from Silent to end his life finally. 2v5 from 20. 30 seconds remaining. Sure, they have some pellets dropping, but it's actually their bodies that are going to drop. Ibana going down, but it's going to be Eddie from the side on Workshop. Signature, though, going to be taking up some space and getting the refrag. Still 4 people to fight, but it's Silent Ends to end the round with 3 kills in his pocket.
At least you don't have to attack basement anymore. That wasn't like a really good start at all for 1HP, just due to the opening 2 picks that they got. I mean, you get rid of the Grim and you got rid of the Ash. That means you have yet less utility to work with when it comes to taking space, such as blue, when it comes to taking space, such as even just bottom main with the mirror window staring at you. You have no way of dealing with the mirror windows anymore. So, I mean, that's about it. 1HP, though, are pretty good, though, at opening up rounds. So for them to just, like, kind of lose that round based off of the opening picks in the early round alone is kind of shocking, but at the same time not really, because we talked about Friendship Team. They are a very experienced team. They have a bunch of fraggers on this team. Silent was one of the best players in Element 4, and I mean, he's showing it here today by getting 3 kills in the opening round.
Yeah, I mean, this is a Friendship team that also wants vengeance, right, Chaka? I mean, previously we saw them lose on Clubhouse quite handily, but also, like you brought up, Element, they just barely got second place in Element. And as much as second place is a huge accomplishment in a tournament like Element, it's still like you're that close to winning the whole thing. And when you go to another tournament where you're facing a team like 1HP, you're gonna want to make it a message. You're gonna want to make a point out of it. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now. Silent already 3-0 and probably going to want to go for more. I mean, sure, Castle DMR isn't that great of a gun, but you can snipe some heads, get some haircuts going, and I think that's exactly what he's looking to do here.
Bomb located by attackers.
They brought the Thatcher again to deal with the platform wall, but you still have the delay utility with the Tuberal canisters, so that's why the Tuberal is playing so close to the main platform breach. You also have Capital as well to help you take the garage rafters, but I like how Friendship Team, they're kind of like playing down below, so they know that like potentially 1HP will be bringing a lot of utility to try and deal with this garage player, and they have more protection around it. Not only is this guy playing in lounge so that the front door player can't potentially just like go and swamp and try and put pressure onto the Raptors player, but he's also just playing literally anywhere else that Friendship Team actually need any pressure in. And right now he's going for a flank through basement, potentially going up the main stairs to second floor, where at the moment 1HP only have 1 body over here, so they're going really slowly about this attack.
Yeah, but like you said, 1HP hasn't contested first floor at all, and so Silent having all of first floor and basement to himself to be able to play in a playground for himself almost, it's going to be able to give him the freedom to be a great lurk later on. Slash is kind of the person in my eyes who's going to be in the most danger. Is he going to get that backstab? Right now, though, Friendship is forced to fight the Thermite. They don't get it yet, but it's actually a fight towards construction. Silent does get that kill onto Slash as Ash reaggresses towards construction. Signature was able to hop out and play the single wall of sight, but it's just a flurry of kills. Eddie's going to take out Signature. Regrets, though, finally opens up around a little bit. Hard breach for 1HP, does rage quit like his previous teammates did, but potentially going to come back into the round. However, though, Stack needs to enter this round and help Regrets out. I mean, it's a 4v2. Maybe they can isolate some 1v1s and get some play there. It's all a matter of time. Silent Ends is playing with him, playing the time, forcing a lot of loss. The 20 seconds gone just to get that one player. And so a 3v2 now. Forced to fight a couple smoke grenades as well. No two-brow charges. So, you know, they don't have to worry about any icicles around their feet. Flash, we're going to go through. Going to translate to maybe an aggression through the door, and they have to get through, but the DMR from Kixrow is going to be like lambs to a slaughter from top red, enter into their bullets, get the free 2k, and a Friendship Team find themselves the second round of Clubhouse.
And I'll be completely honest, I don't understand what 1HP are doing. Like, okay, we bring the Capital, I'm thinking they're going to go for a Raptors play. But instead, we have Capital stranded in construction, trying to get the con single wall open. That's what the earlier Thatcher was used for. And then he's trying to swing cash door by himself with no trade potential. I don't, like, why are we so, that's the issue with, like, 1HP is that the fact that they're just so, like, disconnected from one another when it comes to like their takes. There doesn't really seem to be like a full idea on what they want to do. If that was like a con and platform take, I could totally understand that, but like everybody just seems to kind of like be everywhere but like nowhere at the same time for them.
Yeah, and also highlighting Silent a little bit more, I mean, I don't want to glaze, but the way that he was able to force a lot of space of the first floor and behind towards bedroom, it felt like there was maybe a little bit of support for the construction hit to have that kind of that bedroom control and even maybe Logi. But Silent was flanking up those stairs, got an entry frag, and delayed the rest of the flood from Jacuzzi. And it forced them to spend almost 30 seconds to take him out of that equation so that they could focus on the rest of the construction. So although their attack was one-dimensional, that one-dimensional attack was even further worsened because of a Silent flank. And so Friendship Team, it almost feels easy for them, right? It doesn't really feel like 1 HP is giving anything for Friendship Team to worry about so far.
Yeah, and honestly, like, that's one of the main issues with 1 HP, and it's not like, well, I know a lot of people have talked about, like, on Twitter or in, like, the Twitch chat, for example, that, like, 1 HP's problem is that these guys cannot, like, convert man advantages when they have them. Sometimes they also just have, like, really awful starts to the round, too, where, like, their takes just, I'm gonna be completely honest, that take just didn't really make much sense, and players just look so, like, disconnected from each other. Again, let's highlight the Capital in Khan. Why is he swinging cash door? Like, there's no reason to do it unless you're afraid of the Super Route. Then you wait for the Super Route canisters to expire. They played Super Route the last round. That's something that your prep drone should have figured out, and you could have, like, used vertical play, especially when Silent went for that long flank up main stairs to give you stock control, for example, and especially because he castled that off from Lounge. I don't know, it just, a lot of that just did not make sense to me, and hopefully going into the next round, 1 HP with this tech pause that they do have will come back, refresh, and have, like, a clear idea of what they actually want to do.
I'm hoping for a clear understanding of their game plan as well from 1 HP, but I will say also that mental frustration does start to build even further, right? You have these frustrating 2 rounds, the frustration around losing 2 members of your team, and now also you're DCing and you just have to sit there and wait for your player to come back. It's just, those are times where it just feels like a snowball, and I don't want to doubt 1 HP, but those are things that it takes a lot of mental resilience to pick yourself up, pick yourself back up from those kinds of situations and start to contest a massive roster like Friendship Team. I've seen miracles happen before around this tier 3 team kind of scene, but I don't know, is 1 HP available to those miracles? Chaka, we're just gonna have to see.
Yeah, to be fair, there's, like, nothing wrong with their lineup, at least from what I can completely understand. Friendship Team keeps sticking the mirror, so Ash is pretty much needed, or you could bring the Cali, which is what they brought this time around. I'll say, though, I think a Flores they would probably benefit a little bit more from. Yeah, just because of the shield on top red, and also for, like, helping you flush out some of these defender positions on this extension.
So far, though, 1 HP has all 5 members, and 30 seconds in a round. So far, good looks. And like you're talking about, usually the struggle for 1 HP is getting an early advantage and not being able to convert it. They're now in a situation where they can find that early advantage and potentially convert it into something good. They're just flushing out the information and finding that no one is playing towards first floor, so they can start to isolate this horizontal kind of gameplay and the horizontal take towards second floor. Kick throw was going to be spotted from that death mark. Gold flushed out and took a little bit of damage as well, and Gold actually has just a free playground of first floor and lounge to play against these cash players. Frag going up, and of course Eddie away from the desk, but so far no hit just yet.
Yeah, they have no way of playing around this Kaid, so they're having a lot of trouble dealing with this cash overextension. And my question is like, why not just go into the other side? You're just running straight into a brick wall, and that's exactly what happens when Signature just rushes himself into CCTV.
But Snect is able to pick up a little bit of slack over towards CC, going through the main breach, that platform, and Regrets is able to start to support from the breach window. Gets 1 kill, but the hop out from Nick is going to slow him down. 2 for 2 effectively, but can get the revive from Regrets as Nick does flood back to the site. Play back to the 2v2. So effectively 2v3, and Callie with a sniper, if set up properly, could be devious against Friendship Team. Finally, 1HP has their leg up on a single round. One thermite charge as well to be able to play with if they want to go through construction. But like you said before, there's a whole other side of the site. Mirror window going to be popped for the side of Jacuzzi. Some drone work going through as well. But look at this late lurk down to first floor, potentially playing a nitro onto default where they might want to plant. Maybe just give them sight. Say, hey, you can have it, play the plant, we'll play the post plant, and punish your mistakes as you start to spread out. Play the 2v2 when the bomb goes down. 30 seconds remaining. One tucked into bathroom, all alone. It's Nick. He's gonna be found by Gold. A beautiful shot, and they do have a death mark to find Ash. New member of the Friendship Team, replacing Wi-Fi right now. The C4 is going to go up, and it's going to solidify a kill. A 1 versus 2, but a death mark over his head. Substitute already a lot of pressure on his shoulders just from the timeline that has happened with this roster. Cutting through Logi, clearing out. Another member is going to be there. He has the information on Gold, but the flurry of bullets is actually going to prove him a grave sight. 1 HP. The team that we thought wasn't going to find anything finds their first round, and it's the third round of the defense.
Yeah, I mean, that time they're effectively able to trade around each other when they're going for that cash over clear, which is something that I didn't really expect because they didn't get the cash wall open whatsoever. Like, as soon as Slash dies and Signature dies, the rest of 1 HP, the Deimos, especially Gold, is able to just go up red, trade out his teammates really effectively, and then is able to also, at the end of it, in a 3v2, able to just take sight. Because the mirror went down stairs, so she's not effectively able to watch the walk-in or anything from Logi. And my one question is for Friendship Team, maybe have the verticals set. Why isn't the verticals set up like pre-set up, like when you know that that's probably a plan that you're going to go for? Because that's one of the main reasons as to why Ash was really late with the C4. It's great capitalization from 1 HP. Something that I haven't really been able to see from them in previous games is being able to trade well, and they showcased it in that round to actually win it.
Well, 1 HP, good showing, good start to maybe a momentous attack. They do have to fight the basement once again. If we remember, Silent got an opening frag and then 3 more to boot. So far though, no spawn killer gonna be cementing any early opening frags. As Kaid is gonna be finding a drone into dirt, which Regrets was potentially looking to get a QB sneak, and I actually eat my words. Silent finds a kill, and once again, that's a huge impact kill. It's not the Grim this time, but it's the Ram. So there goes a lot of your verticality, Chaka.
Yeah, that could be set up towards main stairs, especially if you want to go for a pillar plant. Just to deny rotations in between the site. Gold finds a frag back. That's Nick on the tuber round. That's something that 1 HP struggled against on the cache and CCTV site when it came to breaching open walls. Now that he's there no longer, they'll have an easier time not only breaching the church triple wall, for example, but also breaching the hatches.
I believe that's Nick's body towards secret stairs. I think Signature was looking for potentially playing that phone, but just due to the fact that they have no information around the area, they have no manpower around that area as well, no need to go for it. They're still going to play for this verticality of kitchen, and maybe it's going to be a kitchen construction split here. Regrets is going to be set up towards construction, into dirt. We faced with smoke, Pix row, there to hear the sounds and also just play a little bit of a, a little pushback. But a logic bomb is going to go through, and Regrets is going to push through the smoke and take up some space. He's forced to eat a couple of Mossberg shots as well, but the frag is going to force Kixrow to be in a little bit of a pickle. The Grim Bees is giving a lot of information, but where is the support? Kixrow is finally traded out. There's Gold to support. A can opener in his hand instead of a gun. There goes the Grim Bees, but Eddie has a gun to kill him with. Finds both kills. And there goes the construction. But where is the support from the rest of the team? Signature is playing a late flank into blue, but it's going to be seen from the mirror window. Silent is there to swing out and get the kill there. And Snecht, all alone, still playing the verticality, still getting these X pellets on board against these Kaid claws, and the rest of the team is dead. So he's going to go down to main stairs, maybe make a Hail Mary play, has 50 seconds remaining. But again, it's 3 members to fight, and you're just 1 Hibana.
And you have 2 flashes in your back pocket going down blue, but like honestly, with how good Friendship Team do play around their info, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets smoked the moment, see? He's just going to destroy the barricade, and he's probably going to get smoked the moment they try to walk in.
I mean, he has to peek into a TSG and an EBR from Silent, and Silent has been good with that EBR, and we're going to see it once again. I believe his second kill of the round. And, I mean, this man is topping the scoreboard right now. I believe at like a 8 or 9 kill and 1 death. Friendship Team look unstoppable so far.
Yeah, and honestly, I want to go back to the question that you had. Like, where is the rest of the team? Like, both the Blackbeard and the Grim are fighting for their lives in dirt. There's no exterior push going down blue, possibly because of the mirror windows, and maybe just some miscommunication from 1HP to like communicate any exterior pressure elsewhere. Like even just going and opening the kitchen hatch, for example, and then dropping down it to like play for trays while you're going for that dirt push. Going down blue, like I mentioned, even if you are pushing into mirror windows, the players over by dummies next to that mirror window are very much distracted by the dirt players. So honestly, I just think, again, 1HP just probably just didn't really communicate that at all. And I mean, whatever. Friendship Team on defense, starting out here on Clubhouse, you are obviously going to have some difficulties. Attacking is really hard nowadays. But like 1HP have had issues like this since the beginning of the season.
Yeah, and maybe these are also the growing pains of having a new IGL and having a decently fresh stack of 1HP. Maybe the information is there, but the information flow is not. You know, there's a big difference between speaking information and also having somebody to maintain the information to be communicated and heard. But speaking of heard, Silent is going to be heard on a spawn peek and be taken down. There's gold to find a nice little freebie, finding his 6th kill of the game. I was wrong with that last stat. Silent is at 7, so it's a battle of Gold versus Silent with the frags. But, you know, Gold has a couple other teammates to boot around him. But they are going to be fighting CCTV this time, Chaka. Previously, we saw them kind of mismatch the platform take and construction take, and it was very one-dimensional. What do you want from them to be different this time around?
Probably just go for garage pressure. You kill the only lounge player. That'll give you a lot more areas to work with when it comes to applying pressure to the garage player. And that's exactly what the Doc and what Eddie is worried about, is somebody pushing in through lounge. You can also utilize the Capital boats for the Raptors position in order to make Eddie sweat more while you're pushing him at the same time from first floor. So as long as they get this platform breach open, using the Cali Lance tools and the Ace charges, that'll remove the vertical play that the Tuberal has to play around, because that main breach is open. He can't play anywhere in CCTV, and that'll allow them to comfortably move into first floor and then apply pressure using the Capital boats and this exterior pressure onto the Raptors player.
It looks like the Ace charges and the Thatchers are going to be used onto the platform wall eventually, as they do take up that lounge space as you're communicating before. So that platform slash Raptors take is going to be seen, but Gold is also going to investigate towards red and play with that verticality. Make sure that no one's going to be lurking through red, and its signature to start opening up the round even further. Eddie up and Raptor is going to be taken away, so now it's up to the top red player and Ash and Cash. But Kixra has actually lurked into Raptors, taking some shots towards Gold, but somehow not being spotted out just yet. I mean, obviously the sounds are being heard. The concussion from Gold is going to be making him be a little bit dizzy, but he's holding a prone angle. He just need to get the pinch from platform. And they're actually not going to take that. Instead, they're going to slow lurk up the stairs into a barbed wire. But Kixra just shoots the metal of the stairs. So Ash with the hoodie, though, able to trade out from a beautiful angle from Cash, but the snipe from Regrets, the intervention quickscope to take down Ash with the 1v4, but this time it's Friendship Team on the back foot rather than 1HP, who's usually that last lone wolf mission. Smoke's going out. He's trying to play Fortnite a little bit with the pump, but they just know all about it. 10 seconds remaining, though. The plant finally going down, but it's Gold finally up red stairs. The player that was playing from lounge the whole time and putting that pressure underneath their feet to put them underneath his own feet, 6 feet under, and take a second round in Clubhouse.
even with the new changes for 1HP, they're kind of, I'm gonna be completely honest, they're looking like a slightly better team. That's like 2 attack rounds when originally coming into this game, I didn't really know how to feel about the new pickups. When I talked to Regrets personally, he said that he didn't have experience in T3. He literally described himself as a T5 bottom feeder. And that attack didn't really show me that. I mean, to be like, let's be completely honest, 1HP did like a very good job not only getting the wall open, being patient, not going for isolated aggressive plays, but they took first floor, they cleared the Raptors position even despite it being retaken, and they were very patient with applying exterior pressure instead of rushing themselves. And it turned into like a really nice attack because of like some really good calls to just kind of like reset and wait a little bit, and then for that 3-2-1 push towards the end onto the final player. Like, that was actually like a really good attack where 1HP actually converted a man advantage in Crucible.
Holy moly. We got it. A conversion. And I like what you're saying, the patience. That's what really drove that round. Especially after the spawn peak punish as well of Silent being ripped away from the game. I mean, they slowed it down and they played cohesively as a team. And I really hope that we start to see that, and maybe that's also going to force Friendship Team to say, whoa, all right, guys, enough trolling. Let's get back on to pace. Let's get back in this, because they were doing a little bit of trolling, but also 1HP a great success, as they do have to fight towards the second floor once again. Slash this time, or once again, going to be taking up a lot of space around Red Stairs. Going to be droned through from his support, and going to be taking out the shield immediately of top red. There's Kickstro, and that extension, I mean, has support from his teammates and an F-Naught at the top stair, but that shield is no longer gonna help him for the aggression of Raptors.
This is also something that 1HP did around previous. They take the garage with the ace player, and they're also applying vertical pressure in order to remove the Kaid claw and also clear the green box player, which is usually the Kaid in this case. So 1HP are not only exhibiting pressure elsewhere, like in garage and on the platform breach, but they're also experimenting with pressure down below using this Deimos.
Silent, 1 HP, narrowly living through the death mark. His boots are quite padded, and Kickstro is going to take a lot of damage from that frag towards top red as well. So these cash players are slowly being flushed out, but Slash is actually going to be aggressed. Snecht is able to cover a little bit of aggression, but Eddie from the flank is going to get 2 kills from that lounge flank. Does have to recover back up red stairs. He's going to try it, and Snecht is falling out of position. There is one player of top Raptor is going to kill him. It's a Regrets there. Taking down Silent finally, but Eddie is still lurking towards Cash. They need to flush him out. I don't think they have information. I think they assume that he went to main stairs. But they're going to regress towards the other side of the site anyway, Chaka.
And they're taking a lot of time trying to take space over by Cash and CC, trying to do the same exact take, maybe take care of the flank player. But really, they really need to work out a side execute. They finally kill Eddie on the flank, and it might just give them the go button that they need. They know that one's in construction.
But look at the go button. It's actually going to be Ash with the hoodie just by himself in construction, laying down the log, getting 1 kill. Another hop out from Nick, trying to get 1 kill, and he gets it. It's rewarded.
Whoa!
But the reward is actually from Snecht, finding his 4th kill of the round and swatting him like a fly out of the window. 1 HP at their personal best of Crucible with 3 rounds. Huge! And they are not looking to stop as they go to the defensive half.
Like, that's crazy. I never thought, like, that. I think that's the first time 1HP actually got, like, 2 rounds in a row in Crucible. If they want, like, more chances, especially at making playoffs, because I think straight to playoffs is, like, such an off chance for them getting a win over Friendship here tonight would be extremely surprising to me. Originally, this was not my game to watch. I was actually looking at like Slime Belief and Up Next, but to see 1HP do so well on their attacks, and again, I think the main thing that's been like really good about them is the fact that at least in this game, they've been better about playing for the trades. Like, they're playing closer together, they're not as disconnected. It allows them to play the trade game more effectively. And that's what we saw in that last round. Despite it not really going as well as it probably could have, with them applying pressure down below with Deimos, and using the pressure from Garage and Platform Breach on that cash overextension from Friendship, they still played the trade game like quite effectively. And they were still very calm even when time was getting low, and they were really nowhere near sight.
Well, I also want to highlight what you were talking about before as we go into what is going to look like a pretty bloody round. 1HP love to do their VOD reviews, love to do their research on teams, and I think that that's going to be a reward for them here. Friendship Team is looking to play a sort of rush comp, with 1HP locking them down with 4 trap operators. They have Goyle Cancers to play with, they have Legion Mines, they have the F-Knots, they also have the Capcan Traps. So Friendship Team have to go through a minefield with this Blitz to be able to get him secured into the site. And I'm really curious if they're going to get that reward of their, what they say, their VOD review, their homework. The verticality, though, from Friendship, he's going to start to maybe isolate some of those traps. The boogie drones are going to be going through, but it's actually Signature with an early aggression from Stock. The kicks row with the quick draw to take him down, and that's going to be one of the only extended players ripped away, and Friendship Team already off to a great start for a rush.
Yeah, that was like a very interesting run out. Like he just knew that the ram would be exactly outside that window. That's a strat that Friendship Team has gone for. Just gone for the ram through the kitchen window. Eddie finds a follow-up kill onto Gold, and that was through the vertical. That was one of the players, I think, just in the back of Armory. So they've cleared out most of the site, and they could just probably rush in through Dirt here, T-Van.
Yeah, one of the F-Knots is already taken down as well. That Dirt is going to be seen and spotted from Regrets. Just has to watch them flood. No nitro to hold them off anymore. Only barbed wire for the Capkins now. Flashbang's gonna make him blind and force him to flood back to blue as his teammate of Slash is gonna be taken down. Snecht was able to sneak up the main stairs, but he's just gonna be met by Nick, and Eddie is gonna isolate that blue stairs member and take him down. Friendship Team bite back and with a vengeance.
And like again, I think 1HP, they wanted to try and go for more aggressive plays on the main pushes that Friendship Team were trying to exhibit, like here from the kitchen window. That's a run out. They also tried to apply pressure. I think it was towards like the vertical too, because they know that Friendship Team would like to go for the direct take through the kitchen hatch from Dirt as well. And it just got shut down by Friendship Team. I mean, that's the one thing that you can count on Friendship Team being extremely good at, better than most teams in T2 and T3, is their mechanical skill. Even Eddie can shoot back, and he's like the IGL heart support. And I have to say that Eddie's not a good player. He's a great player, but like, that's one of the main reasons why Friendship Team were so like consistent inside of Element, is that everybody shot back on this team. You know, especially Wi-Fi, who was also the support player that was previously on this team instead of Ash.
1HP sat back down, no more momentum in their wings.
5 seconds left before
I mean, they were feeling great having 3 rounds, and now Friendship Team humbling them a little bit. So, get back to brass tacks. 1HP going back to the basement. This time with less traps and more of a more conventional hold of basement, I would say, with the Kaid, with the smokes. Goyo is still there, and a Mosey to be able to play the verticality and potentially punish a little bit of that horizontal. 0-6 though for Slash on that Mozzie. A little bit of a question mark for me. If he's able to have that comfort and feel free to be able to make those huge plays that he needs. We'll just have to see as the verticality starts to be played from Friendship.
Okay, his drone just got destroyed, by the way, by the ram drone. So I mean, that's 1 drone down for Friendship Team. They're down to 5 in total. Slash was in the kitchen hallway, and now he's gone away. The only player left up here is Signature. He did go for that aggressive play last time. Isn't going to do that anymore. He gets away with his life at the very least, and there's no more extended play that 1HP can do, and these vertical angles are starting to make them sweat. They can't even rotate through their own site. They can't even rotate through basement hallway because of the verticality created through the ram drones. And so you might see the dirt push come again, but the Blitz has been positioned somewhere else. He's on central stair this time around. They are still opening up the kitchen hatch though, so this may still be a kitchen hatch drop with the diffuser from Eddie.
Look at the death mark from Silent to confirm their information that Slash is not playing vertical. He's playing on site, so they're all going to be like fish in a barrel on that site. The information is going to solidify what their game plan probably was going to be, of just start to pinch him down, play the verticality, and make him feel claustrophobic in church or in Arsenal. Their eyes are going to start going back to Dirt, which is what maybe their original plan was with the Blitz, opening it up, but the Goyle Cancers are going to slow him down a little bit. Gonna force him back a little bit, but it gives them time to drone, and it's gonna be Regrets that's gonna be seen from the drone. jumping over.
Located by attackers.
That's with a couple smoke bombs as well to play with. I don't know. It feels like they're showing ideas, but nothing solidified.
I mean, the nade goes through the AKs, but they're gonna plan for a drop here, and they have like no other pressure besides main.
And 1HP is just gonna slaughter them. They're going down main, and they're just being shot back. Nick eventually is gonna start finding some sort of space as Kixro goes down main stairs, but it's just all over the place. They're playing all 4 different angles of bot. And Kixro snuck in. 1 HP has to fight Regrets of Dirt, who was originally pushing back and taking up some space from some punish. He's playing back to church. Has the bomb to plant as well. 14 seconds remaining. Potentially he's going to stick as Regrets is so far away. He's going to give away the information, but he's stuck in the corner. He can just pre-fire. The Mossberg is able to be there as well, but the prone shot and the shot on the body to solidify it. Regrets beautifully taking up some opportunities that Friendship Team gave them, and they're going to find a 4th round and make it even 4-4 apiece.
And new pickup for 1 HP, by the way. This is the person who's going to be IGLing for them for the time being. And honestly, if they want that ticket into the play-in spot, they have to depend on more plays like that. But I'll be completely honest as well. 1 HP have done better at playing as a team and, again, playing into the trade game. That's something that they've been quite consistent at throughout the whole entire game. I think that take, though, from Friendship Team did kind of look like, yeah, they did ran out of ideas because they didn't go through dirt. They recognized that there was still a Goyo canister in dirt, and that would have wasted more of their time, making their execute extremely hard to pull off. And so they all rotated to the kitchen hatch. They seem to have ran out of ideas by that point, throwing a nade over by AKs, and that was about it. And they still got demolished on a hatch drop. But still, 1 HP coming out on top with that round and tying it all up with Friendship Team on their defenses.
Oh, that was quite the interesting round. I felt like I was getting whiplash, but we don't have to look at the basement anymore. We're able to go to the second floor. Bedroom this time. We saw Friendship Team leaning on CCTV as their first second floor defense. So 1 HP disagreeing with them, playing something that's maybe more comfortable for them. Some Wamais being shown off in 2 brows. We're going to see a pretty, I would say, standard second floor hold from these guys as well. Not really super extended into construction like we've seen Friendship do. But the castle is going to be helping them out, defend and push back a little bit and waste some utility.
What?
Actually did see one player that was towards Raptors, and I think they had information, but he's able to just pistol run away and just get out. Just for the hell of it, I guess.
You also threw a 2-barrel canister on the platform breach, so that's going to slow down this clear that Friendship Team are trying to do on the opposite side of the map. But they're still going to get the wall open eventually. The demo scan is going to make everybody just run away. They have no further utility for the cache extension because Bandit has been moved over to Jacuzzi instead to really slow down the rest of this push. So they give up cache and CC for free with a minute left to go.
Yeah, only a minute to just get all of that space. And like we've seen previously, they all hunker down into the site itself. The only other extension, I would say, is Logi, but, I mean, at this point of Siege, that pretty much is the site as well. But I say that as a doubter, but we saw previously in the last round that when they did this, it worked out. They were able to push back and force Friendship Team to come up with some really nasty solutions to this play. But obviously, this is bedroom and not basement, and it's actually Silent just lurking through construction door, just getting an opening frag and fleeing back down to the first floor and maybe reaggressing up main stairs as another gap. They're just kind of poking and prodding, and Silent is good for it, finding a second kill as well. And he's going to be able to play the death mark. Has the verticality game to play with as well. Is he going to be able to find Castle on a soft floor? Probably not. He can jump up on the bed if he chooses to. Going to go to where the hard floor is, and the minute remaining, Friendship Team has actually a lot bigger of a position than I thought. Oh my god, he's actually just lurking at main stairs. Finds the 3rd kill. Potentially going to find the 4th kill and end the round as Ash got a kill from construction. Friendship Team, a beautiful push-pull attack. And 1 HP just had no solution.
Yeah, I mean, their only solution was to play down below, but then with Silent dropping, killing the bandit down below, Mira was forced to rotate back to side to help the rest of the team. I think towards the end, when Friendship Team eventually just got they got highway control. They then end up getting main stairs because of the control that Silent got. It just got too much for them. And the one thing that I really complimented them on was playing for trades. That round was not really a good example of it. Snake was just the only player inside of sight that got swung on, isolated by Silent playing on that Deimos. And nobody was able to play for his trade almost immediately, something that 1HP has been very consistently good at.
I don't look like when you play Assassin's Creed, and you have the eagle vision of them, and you're just finding the guards that are just isolated. You just kill and then run away, and then kill another one, then run away. He had that protagonist energy, which he's already been exuding so far in this game, and just completely dismantled 1 HP. And it also feels like 1 HP is showing pretty default defenses, and it was potentially what was stumping Friendship Team these couple defensive rounds. And now as they continue to play scrappy, like what we saw in their first attack and what we've been seeing recently, as they get scrappier and scrappier, it's actually benefiting them. And Friendship Team doesn't, or 1 HP rather, doesn't really know how to play against that scrappiness, that non strategic siege.
I don't know about that. I think, okay. Silent, what? He's just in?
Well, wait. Wait, from where? And he just gets another kill from goal? Wait, how did he just go up main stairs? Do they not have a beeper? They don't have anything. Signature, though,
no.
Pushing back a little bit? I guess, but it's a 4v2. Minute into the round, Silent once again is just picking them apart. Eddie just sneaking into construction and taking snacked, and Signature, who got the only kill of the game, is going to be hunted down by Silent once again. He takes 1 bullet to the arm. The hop out potentially off highway, but it's actually Kickstart from construction to just isolate and kill him in cash, and Friendship Team just gets the round.
It's just too easy, because yeah, I mean, the only way I can think of him just doing that was either he jumps in through gym, which is, I don't think so, because it looked like he came from main stairs, with the way that his body was positioned, at least on his camera. So I don't think so. I think he came up main because, like you said, there was zero utility. And that's kind of one thing that I've noticed about 1 HP is the fact that they don't really play much traps. I mean, in this lineup, they're not really playing much traps. They don't have Legion, Fenrir's available, Lucy's available, and that's kind of one thing that you do have to do against Friendship, because they are a team that kind of like to have players do their own things. Silent does his own thing all of the time, and so playing traps against them is probably the most effective thing that you can do. And that's one thing that 1 HP hasn't really done consistently on some of these defenses. And I mean, in that round, it just that was a huge gap that got exploited for actually no reason at all.
Yeah, I feel 10
seconds left.
I just love when we get that just jump cut to a player who's just in 20 seconds of the round and we're still thinking about last round. I guess we just gotta be anticipating Silent on the Deimos, giving us a clinic of how to play this operator. To just be in and find a gap and assault the gap immediately, as we're gonna be seeing basement once again from 1 HP. Hopefully they can survive a little bit longer than that last round, because that was absolutely deadly. Ram on the roster, this time without the blitz that we saw previously on their basement hits, but if you have Silent, who's kind of being isolating these players, the defense, and just getting these opening frags, you don't really need that go button of blitz. You kind of can slow down and play the push-pull game, as he does hunt down the Mozzie, who's going to flee all the way down main stairs and back into the basement. Signature is playing main stairs as well. He's hunting him down, and he finds him from the top rope, jumping down the stairs and getting the kill. Oh my god, this man has everything.
And I mean, yeah, he takes care of the Deimos. He takes care of the Goyo, by the way, and he takes care of one of the only roamers that 1 HP have, and that's what you kind of have to do against Friendship Team, because you do not want this team setting up against you. Now they have no roamers. Full map control is in favor of Friendship Team. They're opening up all the hatches, and they're also looking to attack down blue.
1HP couldn't even believe it. Snex was in Moto and was like, wait, he's bottom main? He's just swinging me bottom main? And I couldn't believe it either. I didn't even call it out. They do start to slow it down a little bit, play the verticality, get the hatches open, but like you said, Friendship Team is starting to get set up again, playing the verticality, and going to be able to play this pincer hit that we saw previously, and this time probably a little bit more informed and organized than when they did it previously, and it failed tremendously. Silent, though, once again, lurking, potentially going to run through short, and that's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to find Kaid, but Slash is there to pick up the trade. 4-3, a beautiful trade that you were complimenting previously, Chaka, but one went through Moto. It's Ash. Can he find Slash? But Slash is already dead from his teammate of Eddie. Back regrets of it. Oh, from Quad, able to get the kill, but Ash going to be getting the player of Moto dropping down, and the rest of the Flood securing the round as well. Friendship Team showing some flaws, but with an anger that we have not seen recently, they bite back and take over Clubhouse 7-4.
And that's 1HP's playoff streams, actually play-ins, because they never really had a chance for playoffs, completely evaporated. So any chance that they had at making the playoffs, play-ins is not even a possibility for this team, as they now go 0-4 through Group B.
And I don't know if you saw that, Chaka, Silent ending the game with 16 frags. I mean, just an absolute playground he played in. I mean, I expected a high number. I did not expect a 16. Maybe it's because I was expecting less rounds from 1HP, so there's going to be less kill opportunity. But 16 in a 7-4 is absolutely bonkers.
Alright, what a game. Clearly we saw that 1HP was in fact able to hold their own a little bit against Friendship Team. I know that we were all worried about their performance, and clearly while they did not win today, so they still need to get that victory in order to achieve the play-ins qualification. They did do better tonight than maybe what some people were expecting, so it goes to show that they might be, you know, headed in the right direction, right? So, T-Van, kind of taking a look at this, like the rounds. So we had a 3-3 half, and can you tell us maybe a little bit about why you think 1HP was able to get some of these rounds on Friendship Team?
You know, I wish I could, but I think it's just a mix of the bravado of, hey, we're a new roster, let's just throw some things at the fan, let's just go for it, as well as some actually creative ideas from their attack and finding and punishing what Friendship Team was doing on the overextensions. What really started that momentum was, I believe, if I check my notes, of round 3, when the extension of I believe it was, I don't remember his name, but the Rooney player was extending out, getting a spawn peek, and just instantly got isolated and taken away. And that kind of slowed down the game for 1HP and allowed them to develop some creative ideas of an attack with an advantage and start to convert, like we've been saying 1HP has been really struggling with.
Yeah, I think there's also a lot to say about momentum. You know, once you get that first round, you start to realize it's not impossible. And to kind of look at the players specifically, Chaka, I know Silent from Friendship Team went 16 and something, as kind of you were touching on earlier. Do you think that there were any other players tonight that stuck out to you, whether for better or for worse?
Gold, as usual for 1HP, he's usually the top performer for them. I think he's statistically, actually, by rating, maybe KD opening kills alone, he's always doing a very good job of like just finding like at least some impactful kills, but it's again not really enough. And like you said, they kind of have to see if they can have a chance of going to play-ins, because they do have 2 more games left, but it's against some really difficult opponents, so they kind of have to keep out for that. I think they have Up Next soon, so maybe that'll be a lot easier than Friendship Team, who, to be fair, they had a lot closer of a game than I originally thought they were gonna have.
Yeah, I think they surprised all of us tonight. We will be taking a short break here quickly, but T-Van, do you have any last notes for us before we throw to that?
If 1HP can get 4 rounds against Friendship Team, then you can get some more rounds in ranked, and I'm gonna live by that.
All right, so beautiful words to end this out. We will see you guys after a short break, though, with our next match.